who'll be stopping by to say hello. Out here it's real life, no fuss, no show. With Highland cattle and piggies on the go. We got meat, birds, fur babies too. Gardens growing fresh, right in view. I'm baking up love in all that I do, and helping the small folks to see them through. Welcome to the Bronx, where the fun's running wild, with the homestead heart and a country style. We're growing good food and raising some joy, and giving a hand to each girl and boy. So come on by, have a laugh or two at the Bronx. We're waiting just for you. Out in the yard, where the chickens roam, we're building a life that feels like home. From the veggies we grow to the soil we turn, it's a simple life and so much to learn. I'm baking bread, smell the warm, sweet air. Piggies squealing, love's everywhere. We lend a hand to channels that care, because lifting each other is what we share. Welcome to the Bronx, where the fun's running wild, with the homestead heart and a country style. We're growing good food and raising some joy, and giving a hand to each girl and boy. So come on by, have a laugh or two at the Bronx. We're waiting just for you. So come on and join, let's build it together through thick and thin in any weather. We're all in this, let's make it better at the Bronx. It's a life to treasure. Welcome to the Bronx, where the fun's running wild, with a homestead heart and a country style. We're growing good food and raising some joy, and giving a hand to each girl and boy. So come on by, have a laugh or two at the Bronx. We're waiting just for you. Yeah, at the Bronx, we're waiting just for you.
G'day! Sorry about today, guys, that I had to... Ooh, let's just turn that right off. How about we do that? For starters, we'll throw that to the side. And welcome all. Sorry that we had to go an hour late. And, see my little friend up there. He's called Chicky the Chicken. That's Hank's little toy. Oh, boy, does he love that chicken. Within 37 seconds, he had the nose ripped right off. He loves it. So, that's all I got to say is he loves him's chicken. I'm kind of scared taking him around the chickens over at the farm, because if he rips off their beaks as fast as he ripped off that beak, I'd be in some trouble. So thank you all for stopping by on this hour that we had to set back to 1 o'clock Eastern. Working with Wiley. G'day, Wiley. Bud Files, Cynthia, Musgrove, Jenny. Peter's trying to get a hold of you. Call him. It's all good. I told him. She's one busy lady. She'll call you when she has a minute. Leave her alone. So he was just going to call and make sure that, he left his number and everything yesterday. And he's going to leave the ball in your court. Ding. So, and my brother, Mike, Vision Acres Homestead. Glad to see that you're back around, Mike. It was almost like a piece of me was missing. Mm-hmm. And I got my detox on the go. Ooh-wee. Tastes like but it's working. Everybody, no, I'm only playing. It's actually not that bad for something that's very, very good for you. I have 2 a day, and it's rather. I don't have an issue with it, and it's a very, very simple detox. Fresh ginger, fresh lemon, and not hot water. You don't want to scald the nutrients, but warm water, and it actually cleanses your liver. But more about that tomorrow night. We got ourselves Miss Anne. Yes, I did. I landed the interview of the day. Miss Anne is going to be stopping by telling us about her new her new website, what all she's focusing on, what's actually on her website, and I know she said on Tuesday that Uncle Wayne has given up whittling spoons and pushers, and he's done. But she's gonna beg, plead, and might even get a little quiver of the chin going on Thanksgiving weekend whenever she attends the family get together, in hopes that Uncle Wayne will make a little bit more. But it's so we're gonna sit down and go over different remedies, and let's face it, folks, it's not getting any cheaper if you got to start getting into the synthetic things. So let's face it, if you can start, as simple as that is, it might cost me the lemons, and well, water's next to free. The lemons and the ginger root and honey. I've been at it now for about 2 weeks, and I'm gonna say that it averages out about $7 a week, and it's all about doing, it's nothing that you can buy from me or anything else. It's you buy the lemons and the ginger from the grocery store, or better yet, if you know of a farmer who grows it organically without any pesticides, that's even better. And yeah, you're away to the races. But anyways, 8:00 tomorrow night, stop by and definitely have a very wholesome chat with Miss Anne. Hey, Beth, Rebecca. I already said hi to Wiley. Conquest Josh, what's going on, brother? How many Bambis did you get this year, Josh? Was it a worthwhile year? I'm hearing it's not really. Oops. And Jerry, g'day, Jerry. it really wasn't that lucrative of a hunt this year around here. Number one, because it was so hot. And as fast as they would dispatch a deer, they would have to put ice in the cavity and get it off to the butcher and let it hang at the butcher's, which in turn is costing more money. Now, some of the people I know have homemade coolers, and they're saving at that. But there's some people that they've had to financially put out at least a week of hanging. So, definitely costing quite a few. Got a fun few projects going on today. I posted a few pictures of my community page. European mounts, skinning my buck. Okay, so you just got a buck? Hey, Mike. So yeah, Mike, I wasn't at no post office, brother. I was up in Garrison, Petawawa. And well, I can go ahead. It's not a secret. The U.S. is going to 5 different spots. Canada's going to 5 different spots. The U.S. is in charge of their group. Canada's in charge of our group. Ours is Denmark, Netherlands, I think half of Latvia. You have half of Latvia. So there's 2 different spots in Latvia. Poland, Germany, and the UK are the 5 locations we're off to. And I was asked to attend. It was more to show the boys and girls that the municipalities are behind them. We're going to look after their families while they're gone. So we had little brainstorming activities, stuff that doesn't even cross a civvy's mind is they're having, like in civilian land, there's issues with daycare. Well, unfortunately, people can't practice to go overseas because there's issues with daycare. Unfortunately, whenever I was growing up, the military was a single income family. Well, now, like the whole world, it's dual income families. So either ma or pa, who's not in the forces, they can't keep taking off time. So, I know myself. I'm going to start looking at opening a daycare on my part of the county and reserving so many spots for service members. So Garrison Petawawa is the second largest base second or third largest base in all of Canada.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. They house 1/3 of all land land service members. 1/3 is at a garrison. Now, there's special ops. Can't speak about that.
Weird.
And the Chinooks for all of Canada are based out of Garrison Petawawa. So it's definitely cool. I learned a lot. And we have a base commander who is a tremendous gentleman. And got chatting.
Remember we were on a boat when we were kids and they would fly over us. We'd have to hit the deck on the beach.
Yes, the Chinooks.
That's
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah, they're all based out of Petawawa. All right, are you guys here for dinner?
No.
Okay.
I will text you.
All right.
Love you.
Love you, hon. Yeah, so it was neat to see. They were just starting. Now, Mike, both Mikes that are in here. You know. Yes, Mike, I do remember whenever you chucked on the Bean Boozle. Yes, that was nasty. But they were doing 1 mile chases, if that makes sense. But it was funny. They do a mile chase. 3 units go down the field, or go down the range, I should say. Every time. Fire department! Fire department! The 25 mil was lighting fires like that every time they'd fire. And all that it is shrubs. It's not like it's, well, I suppose if they went over, it'd be in the bush, but most of it was on the range, and it's shrubbery. It was we spent more time watching the fire department running down the range in their half ton putting out those little fires. So it was neat. So you guys did have a lot. Oh yeah, no, there was quite a few deer around, they were saying, Josh, but the problem is where I used to hunt, we're an hour from the butcher one way. So you're a 2-hour trip. And you had to get them into the shade and fill the cavity full of ice to get the carcass cooled down quick before you could even transport it to the butcher to hang. It's the warmest that I can ever remember in the 40 some odd years that I've been around the hunt camps. The 2 weeks of rifle here was, anywhere from 40 to 62. And again, it's unheard of. It is unheard of. We always at least have a skiff of snow that we can track. But they're like, we're coming up to December and we haven't had a flake of snow yet. Now, there's places south of us who've had snow. But the Great White North, we've been the Great Green North. This weekend, if we don't, tomorrow's supposed to be like a slushy mess. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, supposed to be, we can either get rain, freezing rain, or snow. That's how messy it's going to be. So they really don't know what's going to transpire. I can cut my grass again this weekend. I really should cut my grass one more time. Again, back whenever I was a kid, we had well over a foot of snow by now. Even like 5-7 years ago, we had, almost a foot to around a foot of snow. So it's very, very, very weird. At Scott Peters, great, had received this call. Connolly for looking out for me. Appreciate that. Hey, not a problem, Jenny. It really bothered me that somebody that is not a part of our group was contacting you. And then stopped contacting you. That makes me angry. It's all about gathering a whole bunch of friends together. And we do have some information coming forth for those people that thought they may not be able to afford to go. I'm thinking, there's an opportunity that it could, on approved credit, there's other avenues that are going to be opened up here within the next month. Terry said to wait. Peter saying to drop it. And honestly, I was talking to him late last night. I haven't even had a chance to talk to Jesse about it yet. So we will discuss it over the weekend. And I brought my phone down so Mike heard the places. Okay, Terry. I never know because Mike hijacked your account too. So see, now it's Big Mike. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can say. No, I wouldn't open up a French daycare. Only 1% of the population is. And honestly, my My area is not. We'd lose money if we were to open up a French. So let's say I can't get into specifics of special ops, obviously, you know that, or the Chinooks, but just the Dragoons, obviously infantry, gunners. I think there's 5,500 on that base that I can speak of. There's a lot more. So yeah. Again, to you guys, you're sitting there laughing. Whenever, we're 1% of your pop, you got 260, 360, and we have 25 million to 30 million, something like that. So, there's a group going now, actually 5 groups of roughly 200 each. Some are already gone, and they're getting ready for the troops to come. Within 2 years, we're going to have upwards of 3,000 overseas. Anyways, it kind of makes me sick. And, I went this year because I won't be able to go next year because he's going. So, makes a whole new spin on everything. So, yeah. Like I said, there's eight or 10 different countries that will be with Canada training. I don't know. You can put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. And some of the guys are saying they're having more troubles in the UK than what they are in Latvia. And anybody that knows what's happening in the UK will understand that statement. Hey, Dave, what's going on, brother? Yeah, we're just procrastinating. Oh, I procrastinated so much I was an hour late. But that wasn't my fault. It was a meeting that was called last minute. And whenever you have a police meeting, you got to drop and go. So I drop and went. Yeah, it's all good. Absolutely, Jenny. We got to look out for number 1. And that's all the folks. So, oh, right. I was supposed to send you that, Lila. Let me see here. I can open up. Again, I got to be able to see you, know who you are before you're allowed up. If I've never heard of you before, I got to get to know you before you come up. But there's the link anyways. And oh man, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. So everybody knows, the max has been reloaded. We're back up to the full. Hey, Xander, how are you, brother? Hopefully, you're doing good. And yes, I'm glad to see you made it. I know my friend over there. He's watching. He's watching everybody. Um, man, oh man, I forget. I thought. Hmm. I have another thing, Lila. Didn't I put that on the Facebook page? Oh, geez. Everybody knows that mugshot.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. You?
Oh, just procrastinating on Thursday.
Hey, that's what our job is, man.
I'll show you a little bit of what I've been doing.
Yes.
Well, we'll go over here by the light.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is my cousin's buck. He shot it in southern Michigan. But we've I boiled the skulls. We cleaned them up a little bit, and then we boiled the skulls in just some plain hot water. And I've got special big pots for my turkey burner.
Okay.
And yeah, and then after it is done boiling and stuff, we got to clean up a lot of the tendons that are still attached, and scramble the brain pretty much, and get the brain all out and clean the nasal cavity and the cartilage that's in the nasal cavity. But the last few days is when I've been able to work on these, and it's been raining. So I was like, well, I wonder how I can whiten these without being out in the sun. Well, I've got a black light that I've got for Halloween, and that puts out UV. So I was able to tan them up pretty good, or not tan them, but whiten them up pretty good with some hydrogen peroxide.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they're looking pretty white. That's a monster buck.
Oh, so what we do with all our with all our Highlands and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
we do the process, but then let it naturally happen,
Yeah.
and the little critters love it.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
so we processed the last batch of Highlands that we did. We actually just checked um 2 weeks ago, whenever we were doing turkeys.
Okay.
And man, the mice and whatever chipmunks, squirrels, they clean that thing up perfect.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's almost time for us to call it back in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I've got I've got some grouse fans, and I wanted to try something new with their actual like their wings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I just like cut the fans off, try and clean up as much meat as I possibly can. And
Yep.
then I usually just end up doing a mixture of like a table salt and borax.
Okay.
And that usually dries, it pulls all the moisture out of anything that's left, and it dries them up pretty good. They've been sitting for
Hmm.
dang near a year now, I think, because I've been procrastinating. But they should be. I'm gonna, after these are done, after this project's done, I'm gonna get those mounted up. I think on a nice board. I'm gonna put the fan up straight, and then I'm gonna have the wings coming off the sides of the fan. I'll have to take a picture of it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
that sounds like, yeah, very neat.
Yeah.
Um,
I've
Lila,
got I've got my
I
little I've
will.
got my little setup going.
Oh, gee.
All it is a big tote top,
Yeah,
and so it's indented, so I can put the peroxide and stuff on it, and
yeah.
it's not going to go anywhere. I've got the black light, and I've got a ton of like I've got a whole box of 2023 calendars that was donated to my wife's work, but nobody took them. So it ended up turning 2024, and my wife brought them all home because there's a ton of them that have like really cool pictures, and the kids wanted to do collages and stuff with them.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
there was a bunch of white ones that reflect the UV really good. So I just surrounded everything
oh, very cool.
so
The
it could
person,
reflect. Yeah, so it could reflect a lot of that UV light.
yeah, the person in the basement, I got to just see you, and then once you go back to your avatar, I'll put you up.
Hey, I'm in the basement still.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there's one person in the basement, and they went away, and then they're back, and I'm not sure if it's actually that person or not.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. So I'm doing three skulls. Two are my cousins who
Yeah.
he got it done during Bow, and my uncle shot a really goofy looking one. He shot a really goofy looking one. It's nice on one side, and then it's got this spike on the other, which it's kind of broken off, or it grew really weird.
Mm-hmm.
But these are all tanning up. Hopefully these will be done here soon, because it usually takes me like, I don't know, a couple days, maybe 3 days, leaving these out in the sunlight
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that I keep reapplying peroxide to them, getting them all white. getting like the brain cavity and everything. But I tell you what, this black light has really done an amazing job. These are super white.
I've never even heard of that before. So, that's awesome. Hey, Janae.
Hey Scott, and hey Josh.
Hey, Janae.
Hi y'all. I was trying to remember. Are you the Josh that helped us with the with Scott and I and a bunch of Lazy Days Ahead of Remy's for the Livia? Did you
Yep,
make those fishing lures? Was
I
that you?
do. Yeah.
I want to thank you so much. It's amazing that you're up here because I haven't been able to thank you. They are beautiful.
Uh,
And I was so grateful to Scott and Remy for putting that all together for little Livia because they do an amazing job and they're selfless. I mean, Scott is selfless. Let me tell you something about Scott. He's passionate. I haven't known him a long time, but what I feel and what I see of the work that he does behind the scenes, even that we don't even know about. And I just wanted to get the opportunity to thank him because not only just he's putting this wonderful cruise together with Lazy Days Ahead and sweet Lisa and Jesse, wonderful people. But there are so many people that helped out that day. And we were going all day. It was like from early in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. Y'all remember that day.
yeah.
And I was wondering, I said, I always wanted to see the face. I always wanted to put a face with a name. And I had those special, Josh. I know it was for an auction. I know we were all there helping and doing what we can. Our little, we were doing our little spreading beauty and love and joy, right? So I wanted to really personally thank you very much, also, Josh, because those were special gifts for a birthday present. And I
Oh,
didn't even know it
awesome.
at the I didn't even know it at the time. I had no clue. I've never met you before.
Mhm.
I've never seen your face, but you happened to be there at that exact moment and happen by you giving of yourself is how all of us met, right? It
Oh
just
yeah,
melts my
absolutely.
soul. It just melts my soul because I'm really huge heart. Like I'll give you the shoes off my feet. Just don't do me wrong, kind of a person.
Right.
And sometimes when we're like this, people can take advantage of us. I'm talking mean people. So I just want to encourage everybody, just stay true to yourselves and stand up when you need to, because we need to be the upstanders and help our friends out. And we always need to know that we stick together. But by all of us doing this beautiful, kind, giving act, I mean, Scott and Rem's family and all of y'all, uh, we happen to come together and meet at this beautiful place. And I call it like the sacred space between the spaces, Josh and Scott. And I'm so happy that I can see Josh up here. We didn't even I didn't have no clue that Josh was going to be here today. But those special little those hand painted lures, because you hand paint these lures,
Yeah.
and how passionate you are about it is the beauty and energy that I now took that all that beauty and energy and I placed them and I gave them to someone special to my heart for his birthday. So those are very, very special fishing lures.
Oh yeah. I
Oh, look,
worked
Scott
really.
has one.
Yep. I worked really hard on those. Then the one that Scott's got, that red and goldish yellow or orange, or it was like the first time I'd ever tried to do that color combo, and I was pretty happy with how it turned out.
Oh,
It's
without
So
beautiful.
doubt. Like it's phenomenal the way that you've blended that in. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can't
I,
wait to go fishing with it.
mm-hmm.
right. I've got one that I did the other day. I haven't painted too many of them, but I've
Mm-hmm.
got a new one that I painted up the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to take this one out.
Don't I have? I had the beauty of
Yeah, with
I
the
think.
pink. I love the pinks and the beautiful colors like Scott just had. That's like a golden orange color.
Yeah, yeah.
It reminds me of the beauty. It's just so beautiful. How long did it take you to paint just one of the lures?
Um, like the one that Scott's holding up right now, that gold one, that doesn't take very long, but I take like a chopped off piece of wire that I've
Mm-hmm.
got, and I actually hand
See that one
put
Scott
every
has?
single one of those dots.
Uh-huh.
But like that like goldish color, the darker gold speckle color, that doesn't take
Mm-hmm.
too long. That's, let me see, that's one, two, that's about 3 layers of different paint to get it to have that effect. And then all those dots take me about 20 minutes ish, just to
Yeah.
make
Mm-hmm.
sure, because my hands are really wobbly and I'm not,
Oh,
you know,
I hear you.
kind of
I hear you.
shaky.
Yeah. Well, that's just the beauty of you're passionate about it. That's what makes it very special. And you've included little magazine pages. I want you to tell me about that.
Oh, the little the little
Yeah,
magazine
yeah, that's
pages.
beautiful, Scott. Yeah, I love them.
Well, I wanted to get them as, oh, what do you call it, as secure as possible, with, because all of our mail, anytime I get a package in a box, it's always crushed and whatever else. And like, so I don't even remember even getting a subscription to any of my hunting magazines, but I've got a ton of hunting magazines. So I was just like, hey, I love hunting and fishing, so I was gonna pack, do some extra packing with some of those. And like,
Yeah.
if I found a funny picture in there,
Um.
like
Yes.
I would write something. Like, I think somebody got somebody looking through binoculars, and like, I wrote a little funny message on there. I don't know. It was just, I'm I'm a jokester. I like
Yeah.
to
That's awesome.
laugh. I do things to make myself laugh. Some of the videos that I do are just purely because I'll go back and watch it and
Mhm.
it'll just make me laugh. Or I used to do a lot of
Oh, good.
videos to get like chuckles from like my mom or my grandma or whatever. But
Mhm.
that
That
one
Ooh,
that
it's
Scott
pretty.
got,
that
that
one
one,
there,
that
awesome.
one is one of my favorites to paint.
It
Yep.
is.
I
It's a
And
think,
is
pretty one.
that
and it,
one have scales on it that you can kind of see some scales?
It
there's
does.
fleck. There's fleck.
Yeah,
And yeah,
you can kind of see like a
just
scaly pattern on the
right there.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Josh, come
one.
on. I just
What's
wanted
that?
to I just love it, Scott. It's beautiful, Josh and Scott.
Mm.
It really is. And I know he took the time to make these creations, and I had no idea that he was going to be there that day. We were all kind of met in this sacred space of just out of our givingness and out of who we are as people. And everyone dedicated was really working hard that day for a special little girl and special cause. And when I'm surrounded by all this beauty, like Scott will be my friend for life and his family and y'all, because these are the kind of people I love to stay tapped into.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It makes it important that, and to me especially, and to all of you, that we have to keep our vibrationals higher. We have to keep around the people, and there's always going to be miserable people out there. And what we can do is just pray for them. But we have to keep our vibrations higher because we have to keep our mindset. And I believe that we are the ones who are able to do that. And God gives us these beautiful, uh, creativities and beautiful gifts. And we are here just walking each other home. That's
Oh yeah,
beautiful with the pop of
absolutely.
orange. I just
This
want to make
this
sure
one would
that,
be a good musky one. It's good. It's
yeah.
big. Either a big northern, or a musky.
Believe it
Mm-hmm.
or not, around here, that color scheme works really, really good for walleyes.
Really?
Walleyes.
Yeah, walleyes. I've trolled I've trolled that color scheme for Lakers
Yeah.
just to see what would happen, and actually caught a really nice Laker.
Beautiful.
So I mean, it's a very well-rounded lure for sure.
Yeah. Well, and you could probably, if you had a smaller one, but like just the spoon on the front, you're an inch across. So it's far too small for a bass, or far too big for a bass.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Well, that's got to be one good sized bass if it's going to tie into that one.
Well, our smallmouth bass down here are super duper aggressive. So like the one that has the purple, the one that you showed that has the purple with the dots and everything,
Yeah.
they smash those lures. And then so like I haven't tried it yet, but I'm definitely gonna try those bigger lures out just for a little because those dive a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and see if I can't catch a smallie this summer or maybe this upcoming spring, depending on how our weather is for spring.
Well, that
Mm-hmm.
that well, that's it. You and I, we never know what we're going to get in the springtime.
Yeah,
It's either
no
going to
kidding.
be amazing or it's going to be garbage.
Let's hope
Pretty
it's amazing.
pretty
Oh,
much.
Let's
It's either
let's keep it positive. It's
right,
amazing.
right.
I just love
It's
them.
either just absolutely rain locked here, or it's we're having winter all the way until summer, or
Mm-hmm.
it's really nice. So it's
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
one.
yeah,
That's beautiful.
and it's nice. It's very light, but yet it's got enough that it's going to dive.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't wait to get out there and start
it'll
trolling.
dive right in, Scott. Yeah, and Josh, I really wanted to see those little magazine articles that you put in there. I thought they were neat. I was just hoping if you signed your name on it, I just didn't want to make sure that I missed a little message or something that you wrote on there.
Oh, I
You might
think
have put your name, I think.
I think I put my
Should be a
name
business
on.
card. Yeah, there should have been
Yeah,
a business card.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I put my name on one of these.
News magazines.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you are featured in any of the magazines at all,
Oh, I
locally or
wish.
nationwide, but I believe you need to be.
I
Mm-hmm.
I, I wish to be in a magazine would be pretty cool. I think. I think
Mm-hmm.
it, a lot of my sales are actually through my Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and being a part of different lure painting pages. There will be people that come in that don't paint lures, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll find an artist that they like and they'll message them and be like, hey, I want, this lure or that lure, or, a whole bunch of lures.
I just
Um,
love how the organic process happened because we had no clue that you were going to be in the helping out with Olivia that day, and this is the beauty of it all. Is that there was a need there. We had no idea. All we knew is we were all coming together to do to come together and share the beauty and share the love out of the giving of the heart.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
that's how this gift that basically you brought to Scott, to Olivia, to Rem's family, to all of us that day. It was an auction, right? It was an auction. And we
Mhm.
were all there betting on things. We donated things for the auction. We all helped out in our own little ways. But when I saw those, I had to, bet on them because I saw. I just had to, just the organic process of it all, the beauty in it all, and now it'll be passed on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely.
I done. Without saying too much, that's what I done. And yeah, so I do need to. If you want to tap into, I'm over here co-streaming with Scott, and we have that. If we can type it in chat, I need to get just in case I need to order a few more of those. I mean, normally, but we've got them the way that you brought them to the auction. That was beautiful, and I want to thank you for that because the sweetness of Scott, the sweetness of Rem's family, the sweetness of Lazy Days Ahead, Jesse and Lisa, and all the people who were
I'll throw
helping
your
out that
in,
day.
Josh.
Okay.
I just can't say enough about this wonderful group of y'all and all of us together as a collective whole. And without saying too much, I just really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, Josh and Scott and Rem's
Yeah,
family and all
absolutely.
y'all.
Oh, we appreciate it, and we don't do it to get called out, or we just do it to help folks out, and
I
that's
know we're
that.
humble, but sometimes I need to just say it like it is, and that's the way I do. So I'm saying it like it is. So you accept it and receive it, all right?
Yep.
Yeah. And Scott, I got to talk with Peter. He did return my call.
Okay.
Let me say, I am so thankful for that, and thanks for watching out for me. He's amazing, and he's working on it. He went through all the numbers with me last night,
Mhm.
and he went through. He's trying to explain to me, okay, this is this, this is that, that's that. Now I need to get with you because or maybe Layla, or a bunch of y'all to see which hotels would work for me and how I'm gonna do that, because the transportation will bring you from the port to from, like, if it's the airport to the cruise port, or if you're going to do it another way. I
Well,
haven't decided what way I'm going to do it yet. I haven't decided that part yet, which way I'm going to do it on the back end or the front end, but I do
we
need
all
to look at
do it.
all the options.
We all do it. Just give me one sec. Just let me throw this up.
Hey, Dan and Kathy.
There you go. So there's Josh's Facebook. That's how he advertises. That's how easiest to chit chat with him is through his Facebook page. And yeah, that way there.
And y'all can email me. My email is directly in the description on my YouTube channel. So y'all know that. Everybody knows that if you need to get in touch with me or anyhow. And
Yeah,
And
I do believe one of my emails should be uh on my YouTube page, and then I do believe there's a link to my lure Facebook on also on there. So yeah, if anybody wants to put in an order, for sure.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
orders, he can come on the ship.
And I've got a bunch of these cards print it off, and with every order that I've done, I've usually on the back I'll write something and I'll sign it
Mm-hmm.
and whatever. So I think there was one for every one of the giveaway packages of lures. So
Mm-hmm. In the auction? Are you talking about in the one that was in the auction?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then in just in general, like if somebody gets a hold of me, and puts in an order, I usually give them one of the cards with a "Hey, thanks for your order," or
Mm-hmm.
you know, some orders have been really cool. I wonder if I can find it really quick. I
Awesome.
had I had a giant lure that I did for a guy in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and
You know what, Lila? If you guys, if
Whoa. Here it
hey,
is. Clear.
so Lila and Linda have decided to room together at the Max. That's where we're staying. Is the Hotel Max.
Mm-hmm.
I got us a discount there. You can do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've got a cheap, you know, it's a mile away from the port,
Mm-hmm.
and the Max is they work with a third party transportation company who will for 15 or $20 take all our luggage and us down to the ship, throw us off at the front door,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have to worry about getting an Uber, a Lyft, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and worried about the port. They'll get like
Mm-hmm.
buses or whatever, $15 each or whatever it's going to be. I don't know what it is yet.
Mm-hmm.
They just pick us up at the mat front door, and then we go over to the port.
Right there, Alaska, right?
No, that's
Or
in Seattle.
Seattle. Oh, okay. Seattle.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But getting from the airport to the Max, you can you're best to. I don't know when people are coming in, so it would be a logistical nightmare for me to try to do. So people have to look after themselves to get from the
Wherever they're
airport.
coming in from. And sometimes they'll
Exactly.
come 1 or 2 days ahead of time to
Well, we're
figure that out.
you have to you if you don't go at least a day ahead of time, you're running into some issues, especially coming from the East Coast. You guys are dealing with hurricanes at that time of the year. And, like I never even thought about it till Miss Ann said something about it. She's like, don't forget, we're in hurricane season. I'm like, yeah, right. The worst
That
thing.
wraps up in November, though. That wraps up this month.
No. But look at the that goes from June to November or
Right.
December.
The November, yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you very well you could have an early hurricane and throw everybody's plan out. So there's people going. Number one, they won't guarantee if there's a hiccup and you miss your plane. Guess what? You're sitting in Seattle for a week. That's why I say book everything through the cruise line you can. That way they're
Yeah,
on
they're
the hook
covered.
to
Yeah.
get you to the next port. Or if you're only an hour getting into Seattle, they will either hold up the ship because you got more than just you guys coming on the plane, but the day of, yeah, no, you're looking for serious troubles. So go at least the day ahead. Most of us are going 2 days early.
Yeah, that's what I did when I did my big trip. I traveled by basically rail, and
Yeah.
I picked up a rental car in Palm Springs. And what I did, and just in case, I left a 1 day window where, if anything, like if the train was late, or if any leg of the race, that if I needed to, I can make sure that I had that, 1 24-hour period where I can adjust and make it sure that I get to my destination on my trip out there when I went to out west. And it went perfectly. I left that opportunity and to get to leave myself that allotted time where I was able to get safely. And it was a wonderful trip. I went by myself,
Yeah.
and I wanted to see the country by rail. And then I got my rental car in Palm Springs. And from
Okay.
Palm Springs, I just drove up like almost 6 hours to
Hmm.
Nevada, which was my destination at the time. And it was a beautiful time with friends and 18 girlfriends. And yeah, it was special. And I got to
Well,
go and see a few sites like the Living Zoo. But I went in the heat of summer. In the heat of summer, it is very, very, very extremely hot out
mhm.
in Las Vegas. And the tires almost melt off the vehicles. It's so scorching hot.
Well, and that's why we're actually traveling when we do. The water is still going to be frigid. It's not
Hmm.
like we're going to be going swimming in the Pacific Ocean in Alaska, but it means, the the pools are going to be warm because they're heated. So we'll be able to swim. You want to go swimming, hot tub, whatever.
Hmm.
Oh, that's fine. Um, but yeah, no, it's really it's going to be a lot of fun. And now that we've got another way for folks to pay for it over an extended period of time,
Hmm.
it's going to open up the window for a lot of people. There you go, Mike.
I didn't want to interrupt. I was a 13 Bravo. I was Airborne Field Artillery in the 82nd Airborne Division.
Oh, thank you for your service,
Oh yeah,
Josh.
absolutely.
I didn't know that. Thank you for your
Oh
service.
yeah.
I respect all veterans, all military across the world. My grandfather Tony was also served, and his brothers. And yeah, we're grateful all across the world how y'all just we can never repay our first responders and veterans.
I've actually got a goofy picture of me that maybe I can get to. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I can climb up there.
Mm. Hey, Dave. Dave and Daisy.
Hey,
There we
Dave,
go.
Daisy.
Look at-
Wow.
It's
Look
cute
at
little me.
look at that little baby face.
I know.
Josh, is that you?
That is me.
That's Josh.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I've got a glass head that I mounted my beret to.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
United States Army.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for your service, Josh. That's beautiful.
Oh,
There's
absolutely. Thank you.
there's a ton of people in the chat that serve. Dave
Mm-hmm.
served, Mike
Jesse
served,
from Lazy Days Ahead.
yeah,
Piggy Piddle.
Lila,
Piggy.
Lila served.
Oh,
I'm
Lila.
going,
Lila,
yeah,
thank you for your service, Lila.
just going up and trying to see who else.
Lynn served.
Yes, Aunt Lynn from the official,
And
and Jonesy. G'day, brother.
Is Jonesy here?
Radio Jonesy, absolutely.
Hey, sweet Jonesy.
He's up for another day, and well, it's be
He's
Friday over
awesome.
there. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's awesome. Love
Just wait.
him.
just wait until he does some lives, and he has a camera set up out his back door, and you see the cruise ship coming in. And
Yes.
I have an app that I'm watching the cruise ship come in, but I'm watching it come in Tasmania, and
Yes.
it's really neat.
He is. Little Taz, he loves to collect. He has a whole bunch of collections memorabilia. I met it. Jonesy came in and over. We do circle back with Leonard Mountain Homestead, and he loves showing his little collections off. He even has Elvis in there, and anyone that has Elvis in their collection
I just
is
can't.
okay with me.
I can't wait for because he's coming on the ship with us,
Woohoo!
and
All right.
they're getting a new Australian football team. So I'm gonna trade him a Canadian hat for one of their Australian hats. So I can
Awesome.
hardly wait. Yeah, their Australian hats are absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever did their merch over there, tremendous.
Yeah. And they have really good Wi-Fi too, because Jonesy came on a live and he was working in the truck, and he said, "All right, I'm gonna just drive with this Wi-Fi and see how far and how long it's gonna get me." And it did real well. So they have good Wi-Fi too.
Hmm. And yes, Lila was the Navy. But I'm going to say we're about 60-40 on this trip. Veterans,
Mm-hmm.
the civvies.
Mm-hmm.
About 40% is veterans. And what I love about NCL is they actually have it's a quiet room, or um, it's based around veterans.
Mm-hmm.
You
They
won't
also have
have
a
loud
veterans
music.
discount.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that there we and if you end up flying United, and either your spouse, well, obviously yourself, your spouse, or your if you're like my son serves here in Canada, I get a discount with United because he serves and he's my son. So anybody that and United is one of the ones that NCL uses to get their sailors around. So I don't think it's a whole lot, but it's still 5%.
Yeah,
So you,
United is the one that took me everywhere.
okay,
Um, I, we went from Detroit to Chicago, Chicago to somewhere in South Carolina, and that was United. I went from South Carolina over to Oklahoma, and then that was United. Yeah, so like man, I flew a lot, didn't I? They even sent us home for Christmas, which was cool. And that was through United. And then when we went to do our pre-deployment training at Fort Polk, Louisiana, we were all flown out there United, but then for whatever reason we were bussed back, which that was a long bus
Oh my
ride.
goodness. Are you talking Greyhound buses or special
Yeah,
buses?
it was Greyhound. So I mean, it had a
Oh.
little bit more comfort, I guess, coming
yeah,
home. But still, man, that was a long bus ride from Louisiana all the way back to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, which is now Fort Liberty, which is so dumb.
How about try doing that from Louisiana all the way down to south to the middle of the state of Florida?
Right?
Yeah, and the Greyhound really the if you're with a Greyhound, you have to I would rather just drive your car if you could possibly, because those Greyhound people, they work hard. But at Louisiana is where you mentioned Louisiana. Well, that's where my sister used to live there for some time, right off Magazine Street. And that's before she worked for Big T at the WH when he first got inaugurated. But the where I saw is where the Katrina. It's about a few minutes from Katrina. It's a Union Station, and that's
Mhm.
where the Greyhound and the Amtrak meet up. And there's some really nice people along the way. I mean, all the way up. But it is a long trek. It is a long trek, and
Yeah.
that's a beautiful station though in Louisiana. I don't know where Polk. You said Polk, Louisiana is.
Yeah, it's Fort Polk. I would have to look it up on my phone, but I think it's more northern Louisiana
Mm-hmm.
or like north central Louisiana, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Over.
I think it where yeah, I don't remember exactly where it's at, but a really cool thing that happened while we were there,
Mm-hmm.
well, two really cool things or three maybe. Um, we were training and then we do our fire guard. We'd have to go and walk the gun line and make sure that nobody was coming and doing security sweeps and stuff like that. And then so it got to my turn and I think I had it for like an hour and a half. I got about an hour in and I was hungry. So I was the driver of one of my LMTV trucks. And so I was going to go around and jump into the driver's side.
Mm-hmm.
And because I had a whole giant package of gummy bears in there, I was going to snack on some of them.
Oh.
Fort Polk, Louisiana has
Mm-hmm.
wild horses all over their training grounds and stuff. I walked around the corner of my truck, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's big, tall truck, so you can't see around it.
Mm-hmm.
Right there at the corner, I came face to face with a wild horse, and he did the neigh sound,
Mm-hmm.
and scared the crap right out of me. I about jumped out of my skin and it ran off, and it was really cool because there was actually quite a few of them,
Yeah.
and that was really neat. We actually had it snow while we were down there, which
Oh,
was
pretty.
super cool
Oh, that's
because
magical.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm from, where it
Mm-hmm.
always snows a ton and I'm used to -40 wind chill and whatever else. It
Yeah.
snowed there and everybody, you could tell everybody, like there was so many people that were in my unit that have never seen snow before. We
Mm-hmm.
were out training, so it wasn't like we got to go and hang out at the barracks or whatever. So we were out in the field. Um, the howitzer that I was on, because I was field artillery, is the M777 Alpha 2,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's 33 feet long, and it runs off of a hydraulic system. So you have to keep it pressurized by manually pumping in a few different spots. Well, we were doing a fire mission, and it was a high angle fire mission, so our barrel is just way up there.
Mm-hmm.
and our hydraulics actually froze. It was so cold. And so our gun is just up in the air and we can't go anywhere because it has to be brought back down and there's a couple of different stabilizer arms that have to be folded up and stuff. So we were stuck there and literally until that gun thawed. And like I was doing snow angels and being a goofball and whipping snowballs at people. And I kind of felt bad afterwards because I was in my element. I was right at home, having fun, being a goofball in the snow. And there were so many of my guys that were just like,
Oh yeah, there's
how are you two? Why are you so alive? And it's like, dude, get up and move around.
Yeah.
Don't overheat yourself, but be active. Keep your body temperature up to a certain point and you'll be okay. But it's when you guys overdo it, then all your gear gets wet and then you're sitting there going, why am I so cold? Well, you're literally freezing. Like your gear is freezing. But
Right.
that was a ton of fun. And then on our way out of training, we were headed to where they washed all the big giant trucks and stuff. And we were sitting in line. Well, there was this kind of like old rickety broken fence in the woods that we were right next to. And I looked over and I was like, hey, what is that white thing sitting on the ground over there? And my buddy's like, I don't know. I can't really tell, but it looks kind of weird. So we were sitting there waiting for so long that I ended up hopping out of my truck and going over, hopping the fence and looking at some of it and trying to check out what it was. Well, it was a horse skull. So
Wow.
I was like, sick. I'm gonna pick this up and I'm gonna put it in so my truck has like boxes, storage boxes in the back seat
Mm-hmm.
of the cab, and I put it in the cab and I've got it. It's sitting out by my garage right now. It's really cool.
Wow. Awesome. And you're going to clean it up and make it look pretty, I'm sure.
Well, it was already the animal had
Fossilized.
passed quite a while ago, and like I was saying earlier, with the natural bleaching of the skull through the UV in the sun,
Mm-hmm.
it had been sitting there for a long time. So it was already starting to get a little bit green and stuff. So, but it's cool. It's already pretty much taken care of, and it's been outside for as long as I've had it. So probably about, I don't know, 10 years, maybe.
Wow. And the one that you just showed, was that a monster buck that you cleaned that one?
Yeah. I've got my cousin's over and he just came upstate. He actually lives across the state from me, but he was down in southern Michigan on a bow hunt right before rifle season. And he ended up getting two really nice big giant bucks. And my uncle came down there and got one. And so he just left from down there and came back up and just stopped at my house, and we were cleaning them up and getting them all whitened up and ready for him. So he asked me if I could do some European mounts for him. So I said, yeah, I'll do some European mounts
Mm-hmm.
because I've done them before, and these have been around for a while.
I'm looking at this and I see Scott. Is that your duck or your duck up there? He's pretty.
That's not mine. That's Hank's.
It's Hank's.
But if I don't put it up there, he'll rip it into a million pieces.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't
wow.
want that.
I see that collection. Wow.
Yeah,
Look at,
that's that's part of my collection. But like I've got, let's see, where's my finger? I've got that. It was one of my Europeans from last year. This one was from last year as well that I Europeaned, and then that big one up there is from 2016, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my 9 points. This one, right? Let's see, where's my finger? That one right there is actually my first buck, which is pretty cool. And then I've got my caribou antlers from when I went to Quebec and went caribou hunting, and there's a bear skull up on the top, and I've got my big boy. That's my big caribou.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Right here?
Right there.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
Ooh,
That's massive.
Yeah,
that is.
it's really
It's a
cool.
monster.
It's kind of hard to see from down here because it's so high up there. But we went with a group of 30 guys from our kind of area,
Mm-hmm,
and that one was the biggest out of all 30 guys. And it was so funny because there was this one guy my grandpa was friends with, and he ended up leaving his like Sony Handycam or whatever it was.
mm-hmm.
And I I was filming and stuff, and everybody was giving me such a hard time because I was 13 at the time when I got those. And everybody was like, "Oh, you're just going to shoot the first thing that you see that has antlers." And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to show all these old farts, I'm not going to just be trigger happy and whatever else." And I actually filmed a really nice one that was a little bit smaller than that big one back there. But my grandpa was like, "Hey, are you going to shoot it?" Because they where we were, they were migrating and stuff, so they'd never been in that area, and so they're just moving through. It's
Well,
really
that's what you
easy
thought when you were 13. Is that what you're saying? I just don't want to offend anyone that's listening because I just thought
well,
about that movie with with grumpy old men with Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon.
right. Well, I was in the wood, like in the, it's not really woods because it's like tundra, and it's just a bunch of teeny tiny spruce trees. But I had the video cam, and my grandpa was back behind me, and I was just filming this one, and he goes, "Are you going to shoot it? Are you going to shoot it?" And I was like, "No, I'm not going to shoot it. I'll wait for a bigger one." And my grandpa was like, "Are you kidding me? I would have shot that thing." But by the time I answered and made up my mind, it had already moved on the other side of this hill. And he was like, okay, forget it. And then so that was kind of like I got back to the lodge like, "Oh, look what I got on video that I didn't shoot. You guys said that I was going to shoot a small one, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, now thinking about it, I probably should have got it, but it was just kind of funny. We got 2 tags each, and my other caribou that's up there, the antlers are like almost black, like just a super duper
Mm,
deep dark brown. And
Really?
as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Wow,
yeah.
that's really pretty." And I was like, "It's not super huge, but I really like what the antlers look like." So I ended up getting him too. So it was a very cool experience. I wish I could do it again, and maybe someday I'll be able to. But since everybody's been up there, and since I was up there, I know the caribou herds have kind
It's
of gone
unique.
to
That
crow.
unique colors. That I like the natural browns colors and all that. How about you, Scott?
Caribou is not, well, caribou is one province one side of me, and the other side where we don't do caribou, or there's next to no caribou in Ontario
Mm-hmm.
for some reason.
Yeah,
Lots in Quebec and
Mm-hmm.
lots in Manitoba. But
we went to a place, I think it was called the Mirage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lodge, like
Mm-hmm.
way super north in Quebec, and like we had to stop and check in at this way station kind of place and
Mhm.
write down like all of our information, because where we were going there was only one road in and one road out. And then obviously once you got up high enough, like some of the roads split off a little bit, but it was just one main road. And then there's a bunch of the reservoirs and the power stations and stuff like that up there. And it was really, really cool. Something that I'll always remember.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, the numbers aren't like what they used to be. Not anymore.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Which is really sad because I had a blast. I mean, caribou's such a beautiful animal, like the hair on it and
mm.
everything. The pelt is so cool looking. It's unique.
Now, did I see
Um,
that you're tanning your deer hide?
yeah, so
So, are
in
you doing which process are you doing? Are you doing the brain? Like, how do you do your tanning?
so I'm not going to do just I'm going to tan the pelt, obviously, but I'm
Mm.
going to attempt to do a full shoulder mount
Okay.
myself.
Mm.
Um, my wife and I were sitting in our living room here, and our TV's back here, but up up here we've got a really big like shelf thing. Like up above the TV is all open,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's I don't know. It's about 12 feet long and about 6 feet wide. So I mean, it's just an empty shelf.
Hmm.
And my wife was looking up there, and I was like, "What are you looking up there for? There's like, what are you doing?" And she goes, "Well, how cool would it be to have like a deer laying down up there and like looking out at us and stuff?" Like, and I was like, "Really?" Because she told me that I wasn't allowed to just put a ton of antlers in our house. So then I just, I ended up putting a ton of antlers in the house. And so she goes, "Well, if you get a big enough one, then we'll look into getting it mounted for you because you don't have a shoulder mount yet." That's one thing that I don't have. Well, I was looking into how much they cost. Holy cow. The shoulder mounts used to be like a long time ago, they were like anywheres between like $500 and $700. Well, now it's anywheres from like, if you find a cheap one, it's like $650 to get it done, and like they go up all the way up just over 1,000, I think.
Yeah.
So, I got a really nice buck this year. He showed up on camera back in bow season,
Mm-hmm.
and I think October 1st, which is nowhere near the rut, his neck was just drawing already. And I was like, "Are you serious? This guy's already rutted up and it's not even the rut yet. Like he's ready to go."
Mm-hmm.
And usually the rut starts around the end of October, maybe into the beginning of November.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when they all start getting swollen up and whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I nicknamed him Macho, and I was hunting for him all bow season, and nothing. Well, finally, he ended up coming out during rifle, and so I got him during rifle, and I was so excited. Like, I was sitting there talking to God in my tree stand, like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, it was a struggle all October.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
had done that video on opening day of bow season with my cousin. And I was all set up. I got my GoPro mounted to my bow, and I had the tripod for my phone to video. I took so much video of me just sitting and looking at grass and trees. It wasn't even funny. So it's like a lot of that stuff, I just ended up deleting it because it just took up so much memory. And
Yeah.
then finally it was rifle season, and I was like, well, do I put the GoPro on my rifle somehow? Like, do I even want to fart with that stuff? And on top of that, where I hunt is really tall grass in a cedar swamp. And so there's like a bunch of little runways, but you have to be really fast. And so he ended up popping out, and I got him. And
I
I don't
love
know.
cedar. That's beautiful wood.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
It took like 20 seconds for me to take my shot. That's about how long he even gave me. So it was super quick. Like I was on him, and so now I've
that's
got one to
crazy.
mount. Yeah.
Scott was saying something. Yes, Scott?
No, I just said
Oh, okay.
that was crazy. But
Yeah.
anyways, I've got an appointment that I have to be to in 20 minutes, and it's going to take me 15 minutes to get there.
So you still have a few minutes to
Yeah, so I still got
procrastinate, is what you're
another
saying.
5 minutes
Thankful
to
Thursday.
procrastinate. But no, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for coming out and procrastinating and all that good stuff. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, Miss Ann's going to be on talking about her new website and all her concoctions that she's been blessed to be making. And yeah, Christmas gifts for everybody. Christmas gifts that keep on giving.
Yep. I wish it was Christmas every day, and it can be with our humanity when we understand that beautiful reflection. Yeah. It's never about material things, at least to me. Those
Yep.
things really don't matter, but it's all of the love and all of the beauty that we have, and all of it's out, all the stuff that's out here that's free.
Here.
When you rise up and you see the sun in the morning, that's the beauty of God. Oh, and I want to ask Scott, I love your hat, Scott.
Thanks.
Hi, Hank.
I need to get one of your hats. There's Hank.
I've literally, yeah. He knows that he wants to play with his chicken, and that's what he's over here for. He figures that if I stand up with him in my hands, he's going to be able to safu his chicken. Hey, Goober.
Good
Big
boy, Hank.
Oh yeah, he's there you go, buddy. Oh yes, you're so tired. You're so tired.
Oh.
Well, thank you, Scott,
Yeah.
and thank you,
So
Josh.
thank you all for coming up. And like I say, today was just a extra special kind of day. And hey, Mr. Jim, he's always a lurker. You gotta, Mr. Jim, he's sitting in the long grass.
Easy. Is that JRS? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Jim is such a blessing to so many. And it's hard to find find people like Mr. Jim anymore. But anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you. And
That's right.
yeah, I gotta say ciao to everybody. Hankers has got to go out and go pee, and then he's got to go in his kennel for a little bit, and he just loves that.
Oh yeah, don't they?
Oh yeah, he pouts about that, and then he'll lament. He won't be my friend for about half an hour, and then he'll come and jump up on me like this and go burr. But anyways, guys, take care. God bless, and we will talk to you guys later.
Absolutely. See ya.
See y'all.